The Apollo Aero, a 2016 vision of 1,000 horsepower, pointed promise. Apollo's promise, blending tech with intense emotion for the future.
In the ever-evolving world of hypercars, where electrification, artificial intelligence, and extreme performance are reshaping what it means to be fast, a new chapter is quietly being written. It's a chapter about rebirth, ambition, and unfinished dreams. And at the center of it all is a name that refuses to disappear: Apollo. Once known for creating brutally raw, track-focused machines, Apollo Automobili is now stepping into a future defined by cutting-edge technology and uncompromising innovation. But to understand where the brand is heading in 2026 and beyond, you have to revisit a machine that never made it to production, the Apollo Aero. Because in many ways, the Aero was ahead of its time. Back in 2016, when Apollo unveiled the Aero at the Geneva Motor Show, the automotive world was not yet fully consumed by electrification. Hybrid hypercars existed, but fully electric performance machines were still finding their identity. The Aero, with its twin turbocharged V8 pushing nearly 1,000 horsepower, represented the peak of internal combustion ambition. But fast forward to 2026, and the landscape has changed dramatically. Today, hypercars are no longer defined by engine size alone. They are defined by software, aerodynamics, energy management, and instantaneous torque delivery. And this is exactly where the spirit of the Aero begins to evolve into something entirely new. Imagine the Apollo Aero, not as it was, but as it could be today. A modern interpretation would likely abandon traditional turbocharging in favor of a hybrid or fully electric powertrain. Instead of a single combustion engine, it could feature a tri-motor or quad-motor setup, delivering well over 1,200 horsepower with precise torque vectoring at each wheel. Acceleration figures would drop into the low 2-second range, with 0 to 60 miles per hour happening in a blink, perhaps 2.0 seconds or less. But power is only part of the story. In 2026, aerodynamics have become smarter. Active aero systems now adjust in real time, responding to speed, steering input, and road conditions. A modern Aero would feature adaptive wings, movable diffusers, and an intelligent airflow channels that optimize both downforce and efficiency without driver intervention. The chassis, too, would evolve. While the original Aero utilized a tubular space frame and carbon fiber monocoque, a future version would likely incorporate next-generation composite materials, lighter, stronger, and more rigid than ever before. Additive manufacturing, or 3D printing, could be used to create complex structural components that were previously impossible to produce, reducing weight while increasing strength. Inside, the transformation would be just as dramatic. The cockpit of a 2026 hypercar is no longer just about gauges and switches. It's an interface, an intelligent environment that adapts to the driver. A reimagined Apollo Aero would feature a fully digital cockpit with augmented reality displays, projecting critical information directly onto the windshield. Navigation, performance data, and even racing lines could appear in real time, enhancing both safety and speed. Artificial intelligence would play a major role as well. Advanced driver assistance systems, now common even in high-performance vehicles, would be integrated seamlessly, not to take control away from the driver, but to enhance their capabilities. Systems like predictive traction control, adaptive suspension tuning, and real-time telemetry analysis would ensure that the car performs at its absolute peak under any condition. And then there's connectivity. Modern hypercars are no longer isolated machines. They are part of a digital ecosystem. Over-the-air updates would allow the Aero to continuously improve, gaining new features, refining performance, and adapting to new technologies long after it leaves the factory. Yet despite all this advancement, one thing would remain unchanged: the emotion. Because that is what Apollo has always been about. The name Intensa Emozione, meaning intense emotion, perfectly captured the philosophy behind the Apollo 1E, the car that ultimately replaced the Aero. And even in a future dominated by electric motors and digital systems, that philosophy would continue to define the brand. The Apollo Intensa Emozione itself was a statement, a defiant stand against the quiet efficiency of electrification. With its naturally aspirated V12 screaming to 9,000 revolutions per minute, it delivered a visceral experience that few modern cars could match. It was loud, raw, and unapologetically analog. But even that car, as extreme as it was, belongs to a different era now. In 2026, the challenge is not just to be fast, but to be unforgettable in a world where speed is increasingly common. Electric hypercars from brands like Rimac and Lotus are already pushing boundaries, delivering performance figures that were once unimaginable. So where does Apollo fit into this new world? The answer lies in its ability to blend technology with emotion. A future Apollo hypercar, whether it carries the Aero name or something entirely new, would need to do more than just compete on numbers. It would need to create an experience that stands apart. That could mean synthesizing sound in a way that mimics the drama of a combustion engine, or developing haptic feedback systems that allow the driver to feel the car in new and immersive ways. It could also mean redefining what a hypercar looks like. Design in 2026 is no longer constrained by traditional rules. With fewer cooling requirements and more flexible packaging, designers have greater freedom to explore bold, unconventional shapes. A modern aero could feature a silhouette that looks more like a spacecraft than a car, with dramatic lighting signatures, active body panels, and a presence that commands attention from every angle. And then there's exclusivity. If the original plan for the aero had gone through, it would likely have been a limited production model. In today's market, that exclusivity is even more important. Future Apollo hypercars will almost certainly be produced in extremely small numbers, each one tailored to its owner, each one a unique expression of performance and design. This level of personalization is becoming a defining characteristic of modern luxury. Buyers are no longer satisfied with choosing colors and materials. They want to co-create their vehicles. And brands like Apollo are uniquely positioned to deliver that level of customization. Looking ahead, it's clear that the legacy of the Apollo Aero is far from over. Even though it never reached production, its influence can still be felt. It marked a turning point for the company, a moment when Apollo began to transition from its past into a bold and uncertain future. It set the stage for the Intensa Emozione and for everything that has come since. In many ways, the Aero was not a failure, but a foundation, a stepping stone towards something greater. And as we move deeper into this new era of automotive innovation, that foundation becomes increasingly important because it reminds us that progress is not always a straight line. Sometimes it takes detours, false starts, and unrealized potential to reach something truly extraordinary. So imagine for a moment that the Apollo Aero is reborn in 2026, not as a relic of the past, but as a vision of the future, a hypercar that combines the raw intensity of its predecessors with the intelligence and sophistication of modern technology. A machine that doesn't just chase speed, but redefines what speed feels like. That is the promise of Apollo, a promise that began with a car that never was and continues with the cars that are yet to come. Because in the world of hypercars, the story is never really over. It's just waiting for its next chapter.